I practice.
I practice.
I practice music.
I practice music.
I practice music every evening.
I practice music every evening.
我每晚练习音乐。
I practice music every evening.
I practice music every evening.
You perform.
You perform.
You perform on stage.
You perform on stage.
You perform on stage with passion.
You perform on stage with passion.
你满怀激情地在舞台上表演。
You perform on stage with passion.
You perform on stage with passion.
He saves.
He saves.
He saves money.
He saves money.
He saves money for a rainy day.
He saves money for a rainy day.
他为雨天储蓄金钱。
He saves money for a rainy day.
He saves money for a rainy day.
She spends.
She spends.
She spends lavishly.
She spends lavishly.
She spends lavishly on designer clothes.
She spends lavishly on designer clothes.
他奢侈地花费在设计师服装上。
She spends lavishly on designer clothes.
She spends lavishly on designer clothes.
It earns.
It earns.
It earns interest.
It earns interest.
It earns interest over time.
It earns interest over time.
他随时间赚取利息。
It earns interest over time.
It earns interest over time.
We owe.
We owe.
We owe a lot.
We owe a lot.
We owe a lot to the bank.
We owe a lot to the bank.
我们欠银行很多钱。
We owe a lot to the bank.
We owe a lot to the bank.
They repay.
They repay.
They repay their debts.
They repay their debts.
They repay their debts promptly.
They repay their debts promptly.
他们及时还清债务。
They repay their debts promptly.
They repay their debts promptly.
I invest.
I invest.
I invest in stocks.
I invest in stocks.
I invest in stocks for the long term.
I invest in stocks for the long term.
我长期投资股票。
I invest in stocks for the long term.
I invest in stocks for the long term.
You withdraw.
You withdraw.
You withdraw cash.
You withdraw cash.
You withdraw cash from the ATM.
You withdraw cash from the ATM.
你从 ATM 提取现金。
You withdraw cash from the ATM.
You withdraw cash from the ATM.
He deposits.
He deposits.
He deposits his paycheck.
He deposits his paycheck.
He deposits his paycheck every month.
He deposits his paycheck every month.
他每月存入薪水。
He deposits his paycheck every month.
He deposits his paycheck every month.
She budgets.
She budgets.
She budgets monthly.
She budgets monthly.
She budgets monthly for better finance management.
She budgets monthly for better finance management.
她每月预算以更好地管理财务。
She budgets monthly for better finance management.
She budgets monthly for better finance management.
It counts.
It counts.
It counts votes.
It counts votes.
It counts votes during elections.
It counts votes during elections.
她在选举期间计算票数。
It counts votes during elections.
It counts votes during elections.
We balance.
We balance.
We balance our books.
We balance our books.
We balance our books every quarter.
We balance our books every quarter.
我们每季度平衡我们的账本。
We balance our books every quarter.
We balance our books every quarter.
They borrow.
They borrow.
They borrow books from the library.
They borrow books from the library.
They borrow books from the library for research.
They borrow books from the library for research.
他们从图书馆借书进行研究。
They borrow books from the library for research.
They borrow books from the library for research.
I drive.
I drive.
I drive a car.
I drive a car.
I drive a car to work.
I drive a car to work.
我开车去上班。
I drive a car to work.
I drive a car to work.
You park.
You park.
You park in the garage.
You park in the garage.
You park in the garage overnight.
You park in the garage overnight.
你在车库里过夜停车。
You park in the garage overnight.
You park in the garage overnight.
He rides.
He rides.
He rides a bike.
He rides a bike.
He rides a bike for exercise.
He rides a bike for exercise.
他骑自行车锻炼。
He rides a bike for exercise.
He rides a bike for exercise.
She pedals.
She pedals.
She pedals fast.
She pedals fast.
She pedals fast to keep fit.
She pedals fast to keep fit.
他快速踏脚踏板以保持健康。
She pedals fast to keep fit.
She pedals fast to keep fit.
It steers.
It steers.
It steers left.
It steers left.
It steers left when guided.
It steers left when guided.
他在被引导时向左转向。
It steers left when guided.
It steers left when guided.
We fly.
We fly.
We fly planes.
We fly planes.
We fly planes for commercial purposes.
We fly planes for commercial purposes.
我们出于商业目的飞行飞机。
We fly planes for commercial purposes.
We fly planes for commercial purposes.
They sail.
They sail.
They sail ships.
They sail ships.
They sail ships across the globe.
They sail ships across the globe.
他们驾船环游世界。
They sail ships across the globe.
They sail ships across the globe.
I pack.
I pack.
I pack my suitcase.
I pack my suitcase.
I pack my suitcase for trips.
I pack my suitcase for trips.
我为旅行打包我的行李箱。
I pack my suitcase for trips.
I pack my suitcase for trips.
You unpack.
You unpack.
You unpack groceries.
You unpack groceries.
You unpack groceries after shopping.
You unpack groceries after shopping.
你购物后拆包杂货。
You unpack groceries after shopping.
You unpack groceries after shopping.
He checks.
He checks.
He checks in luggage.
He checks in luggage.
He checks in luggage at the airport.
He checks in luggage at the airport.
他在机场办理行李托运。
He checks in luggage at the airport.
He checks in luggage at the airport.
She loads.
She loads.
She loads the truck.
She loads the truck.
She loads the truck for delivery.
She loads the truck for delivery.
他装载卡车进行送货。
She loads the truck for delivery.
She loads the truck for delivery.
It boards.
It boards.
It boards passengers.
It boards passengers.
It boards passengers during rush hours.
It boards passengers during rush hours.
他在高峰时段登机乘客。
It boards passengers during rush hours.
It boards passengers during rush hours.
We disembark.
We disembark.
We disembark from the ship.
We disembark from the ship.
We disembark from the ship after the cruise.
We disembark from the ship after the cruise.
我们在邮轮后从船上下船。
We disembark from the ship after the cruise.
We disembark from the ship after the cruise.
They migrate.
They migrate.
They migrate south.
They migrate south.
They migrate south for warmer weather.
They migrate south for warmer weather.
他们向南迁移寻找更温暖的天气。
They migrate south for warmer weather.
They migrate south for warmer weather.
I stitch.
I stitch.
I stitch clothes.
I stitch clothes.
I stitch clothes for a hobby.
I stitch clothes for a hobby.
我为爱好缝制衣服。
I stitch clothes for a hobby.
I stitch clothes for a hobby.
You sew.
You sew.
You sew patches.
You sew patches.
You sew patches on old jeans.
You sew patches on old jeans.
你在旧牛仔裤上缝补丁。
You sew patches on old jeans.
You sew patches on old jeans.
He mends.
He mends.
He mends socks.
He mends socks.
He mends socks when they tear.
He mends socks when they tear.
他修补撕裂的袜子。
He mends socks when they tear.
He mends socks when they tear.
She knits.
She knits.
She knits scarves.
She knits scarves.
She knits scarves for winter.
She knits scarves for winter.
他为冬天编织围巾。
She knits scarves for winter.
She knits scarves for winter.
It unravels.
It unravels.
It unravels mysteries.
It unravels mysteries.
It unravels mysteries in detective stories.
It unravels mysteries in detective stories.
他在侦探故事中揭开谜底。
It unravels mysteries in detective stories.
It unravels mysteries in detective stories.
We weave.
We weave.
We weave stories.
We weave stories.
We weave stories for children.
We weave stories for children.
我们为孩子们编织故事。
We weave stories for children.
We weave stories for children.
They darn.
They darn.
They darn holes.
They darn holes.
They darn holes in worn-out clothes.
They darn holes in worn-out clothes.
他们在磨损的衣服上织补洞口。
They darn holes in worn-out clothes.
They darn holes in worn-out clothes.
I pour.
I pour.
I pour tea.
I pour tea.
I pour tea for guests.
I pour tea for guests.
我为客人倒茶。
I pour tea for guests.
I pour tea for guests.
You stir.
You stir.
You stir coffee.
You stir coffee.
You stir coffee every morning.
You stir coffee every morning.
你每天早上搅拌咖啡。
You stir coffee every morning.
You stir coffee every morning.
He blends.
He blends.
He blends smoothies.
He blends smoothies.
He blends smoothies for breakfast.
He blends smoothies for breakfast.
他为早餐混合奶昔。
He blends smoothies for breakfast.
He blends smoothies for breakfast.
She brews.
She brews.
She brews beer.
She brews beer.
She brews beer for special occasions.
She brews beer for special occasions.
他为特殊场合酿造啤酒。
She brews beer for special occasions.
She brews beer for special occasions.
It boils.
It boils.
It boils water.
It boils water.
It boils water for cooking.
It boils water for cooking.
它为烹饪煮沸水。
It boils water for cooking.
It boils water for cooking.
We fry.
We fry.
We fry eggs.
We fry eggs.
We fry eggs for breakfast.
We fry eggs for breakfast.
我们为早餐煎蛋。
We fry eggs for breakfast.
We fry eggs for breakfast.
They roast.
They roast.
They roast meat.
They roast meat.
They roast meat for Sunday dinners.
They roast meat for Sunday dinners.
他们为周日晚餐烤肉。
They roast meat for Sunday dinners.
They roast meat for Sunday dinners.
I peel.
I peel.
I peel oranges.
I peel oranges.
I peel oranges for a snack.
I peel oranges for a snack.
我为零食包橙子。
I peel oranges for a snack.
I peel oranges for a snack.
You chop.
You chop.
You chop vegetables.
You chop vegetables.
You chop vegetables for salads.
You chop vegetables for salads.
你为沙拉切菜。
You chop vegetables for salads.
You chop vegetables for salads.
He slices.
He slices.
He slices bread.
He slices bread.
He slices bread for sandwiches.
He slices bread for sandwiches.
他为三明治切面包。
He slices bread for sandwiches.
He slices bread for sandwiches.
She dices.
She dices.
She dices onions.
She dices onions.
She dices onions for recipes.
She dices onions for recipes.
他为食谱切碎洋葱。
She dices onions for recipes.
She dices onions for recipes.
It grates.
It grates.
It grates cheese.
It grates cheese.
It grates cheese for pizza.
It grates cheese for pizza.
他为比萨饼磨碎起司。
It grates cheese for pizza.
It grates cheese for pizza.
We zest.
We zest.
We zest lemons.
We zest lemons.
We zest lemons for desserts.
We zest lemons for desserts.
我们为甜点擦柠檬皮。
We zest lemons for desserts.
We zest lemons for desserts.
They squeeze.
They squeeze.
They squeeze juices.
They squeeze juices.
They squeeze juices for refreshments.
They squeeze juices for refreshments.
他们为清凉饮料榨汁。
They squeeze juices for refreshments.
They squeeze juices for refreshments.
I plant.
I plant.
I plant trees.
I plant trees.
I plant trees for the environment.
I plant trees for the environment.
我为环境种植树木。
I plant trees for the environment.
I plant trees for the environment.
You water.
You water.
You water plants.
You water plants.
You water plants to keep them healthy.
You water plants to keep them healthy.
你浇水植物以保持它们健康。
You water plants to keep them healthy.
You water plants to keep them healthy.
He trims.
He trims.
He trims hedges.
He trims hedges.
He trims hedges to maintain them.
He trims hedges to maintain them.
他修剪篱笆以维护它们。
He trims hedges to maintain them.
He trims hedges to maintain them.
She harvests.
She harvests.
She harvests crops.
She harvests crops.
She harvests crops every season.
She harvests crops every season.
他每季收割作物。
She harvests crops every season.
She harvests crops every season.
It sprouts.
It sprouts.
It sprouts seeds.
It sprouts seeds.
It sprouts seeds in the spring.
It sprouts seeds in the spring.
它在春天发芽种子。
It sprouts seeds in the spring.
It sprouts seeds in the spring.
We cultivate.
We cultivate.
We cultivate land.
We cultivate land.
We cultivate land for agriculture.
We cultivate land for agriculture.
我们耕种土地进行农业。
We cultivate land for agriculture.
We cultivate land for agriculture.
They plow.
They plow.
They plow fields.
They plow fields.
They plow fields before planting.
They plow fields before planting.
他们在种植前犁地。
They plow fields before planting.
They plow fields before planting.
I fish.
I fish.
I fish in the lake.
I fish in the lake.
I fish in the lake during weekends.
I fish in the lake during weekends.
我周末在湖里钓鱼。
I fish in the lake during weekends.
I fish in the lake during weekends.
You bait.
You bait.
You bait the hook.
You bait the hook.
You bait the hook with worms.
You bait the hook with worms.
你用虫子饵钩。
You bait the hook with worms.
You bait the hook with worms.
He catches.
He catches.
He catches salmon.
He catches salmon.
He catches salmon in the river.
He catches salmon in the river.
他在河里捕获鲑鱼。
He catches salmon in the river.
He catches salmon in the river.
She releases.
She releases.
She releases small fish.
She releases small fish.
She releases small fish to preserve nature.
She releases small fish to preserve nature.
它释放小鱼以保护自然。
She releases small fish to preserve nature.
She releases small fish to preserve nature.
It swims.
It swims.
It swims swiftly.
It swims swiftly.
It swims swiftly in the current.
It swims swiftly in the current.
它在水流中迅速游动。
It swims swiftly in the current.
It swims swiftly in the current.
We cast.
We cast.
We cast nets.
We cast nets.
We cast nets to catch fish.
We cast nets to catch fish.
我们投网捕鱼。
We cast nets to catch fish.
We cast nets to catch fish.
They hook.
They hook.
They hook big fish.
They hook big fish.
They hook big fish during fishing trips.
They hook big fish during fishing trips.
他们在钓鱼旅行中钓到大鱼。
They hook big fish during fishing trips.
They hook big fish during fishing trips.
I climb.
I climb.
I climb mountains.
I climb mountains.
I climb mountains for adventure.
I climb mountains for adventure.
我爬山寻求冒险。
I climb mountains for adventure.
I climb mountains for adventure.
You descend.
You descend.
You descend stairs.
You descend stairs.
You descend stairs for exercise.
You descend stairs for exercise.
你为了锻炼而下楼梯。
You descend stairs for exercise.
You descend stairs for exercise.
He ascends.
He ascends.
He ascends ladders.
He ascends ladders.
He ascends ladders for work.
He ascends ladders for work.
他为工作而爬梯子。
He ascends ladders for work.
He ascends ladders for work.
She hikes.
She hikes.
She hikes trails.
She hikes trails.
She hikes trails during vacations.
She hikes trails during vacations.
他在假期时徒步旅行。
She hikes trails during vacations.
She hikes trails during vacations.
It elevates.
It elevates.
It elevates platforms.
It elevates platforms.
It elevates platforms at the station.
It elevates platforms at the station.
他在车站提升平台。
It elevates platforms at the station.
It elevates platforms at the station.
We mount.
We mount.
We mount horses.
We mount horses.
We mount horses for riding lessons.
We mount horses for riding lessons.
我们为骑马课程骑马。
We mount horses for riding lessons.
We mount horses for riding lessons.
They summit.
They summit.
They summit peaks.
They summit peaks.
They summit peaks for the view.
They summit peaks for the view.
他们攀登山峰欣赏风景。
They summit peaks for the view.
They summit peaks for the view.
I charge.
I charge.
I charge my phone.
I charge my phone.
I charge my phone at night.
I charge my phone at night.
我晚上为手机充电。
I charge my phone at night.
I charge my phone at night.
You pay.
You pay.
You pay bills.
You pay bills.
You pay bills online.
You pay bills online.
你在线支付账单。
You pay bills online.
You pay bills online.
He refunds.
He refunds.
He refunds customers.
He refunds customers.
He refunds customers at the store.
He refunds customers at the store.
他在商店为顾客退款。
He refunds customers at the store.
He refunds customers at the store.
She bargains.
She bargains.
She bargains for deals.
She bargains for deals.
She bargains for deals at the market.
She bargains for deals at the market.
他在市场上讨价还价。
She bargains for deals at the market.
She bargains for deals at the market.
It costs.
It costs.
It costs a fortune.
It costs a fortune.
It costs a fortune to buy.
It costs a fortune to buy.
他花费一大笔钱买。
It costs a fortune to buy.
It costs a fortune to buy.
We value.
We value.
We value antiques.
We value antiques.
We value antiques for their history.
We value antiques for their history.
我们因他们的历史而珍视古董。
We value antiques for their history.
We value antiques for their history.
They price.
They price.
They price goods.
They price goods.
They price goods for sale.
They price goods for sale.
他们为销售定价商品。
They price goods for sale.
They price goods for sale.
I order.
I order.
I order food.
I order food.
I order food when I'm hungry.
I order food when I'm hungry.
我饿了时订餐。
I order food when I'm hungry.
I order food when I'm hungry.
You serve.
You serve.
You serve dishes.
You serve dishes.
You serve dishes at the restaurant.
You serve dishes at the restaurant.
你在餐厅上菜。
You serve dishes at the restaurant.
You serve dishes at the restaurant.
He eats.
He eats.
He eats voraciously.
He eats voraciously.
He eats voraciously at buffets.
He eats voraciously at buffets.
他在自助餐上狼吞虎咽地吃。
He eats voraciously at buffets.
He eats voraciously at buffets.
She dines.
She dines.
She dines elegantly.
She dines elegantly.
She dines elegantly during formal events.
She dines elegantly during formal events.
他在正式场合优雅用餐。
She dines elegantly during formal events.
She dines elegantly during formal events.
It spoils.
It spoils.
It spoils quickly.
It spoils quickly.
It spoils quickly in the heat.
It spoils quickly in the heat.
它在热中迅速变质。
It spoils quickly in the heat.
It spoils quickly in the heat.
We feast.
We feast.
We feast on holidays.
We feast on holidays.
We feast on holidays with family.
We feast on holidays with family.
我们在节日与家人盛宴。
We feast on holidays with family.
We feast on holidays with family.
They fast.
They fast.
They fast during Ramadan.
They fast during Ramadan.
They fast during Ramadan for faith.
They fast during Ramadan for faith.
他们在拉玛丹月因信仰而禁食。
They fast during Ramadan for faith.
They fast during Ramadan for faith.
I knit.
I knit.
I knit sweaters.
I knit sweaters.
I knit sweaters for my family.
I knit sweaters for my family.
我为我的家人编织毛衣。
I knit sweaters for my family.
I knit sweaters for my family.
You thread.
You thread.
You thread needles.
You thread needles.
You thread needles for sewing.
You thread needles for sewing.
你为缝纫穿针引线。
You thread needles for sewing.
You thread needles for sewing.
He ties.
He ties.
He ties knots.
He ties knots.
He ties knots for security.
He ties knots for security.
他为安全细节。
He ties knots for security.
He ties knots for security.
She binds.
She binds.
She binds books.
She binds books.
She binds books for preservation.
She binds books for preservation.
他为保存而装订书籍。
She binds books for preservation.
She binds books for preservation.
It loops.
It loops.
It loops songs.
It loops songs.
It loops songs in a playlist.
It loops songs in a playlist.
他在播放列表中循环歌曲。
It loops songs in a playlist.
It loops songs in a playlist.
We braid.
We braid.
We braid hair.
We braid hair.
We braid hair for fashion.
We braid hair for fashion.
我们为时尚编辫子。
We braid hair for fashion.
We braid hair for fashion.
They coil.
They coil.
They coil ropes.
They coil ropes.
They coil ropes for storage.
They coil ropes for storage.
他们为储存卷绳。
They coil ropes for storage.
They coil ropes for storage.
I log.
I log.
I log into my account.
I log into my account.
I log into my account daily.
I log into my account daily.
我每天登入我的账户。
I log into my account daily.
I log into my account daily.
You boot.
You boot.
You boot the computer.
You boot the computer.
You boot the computer for work.
You boot the computer for work.
你为工作启动电脑。
You boot the computer for work.
You boot the computer for work.
He shuts.
He shuts.
He shuts windows.
He shuts windows.
He shuts windows during rain.
He shuts windows during rain.
他在下雨时关窗。
He shuts windows during rain.
He shuts windows during rain.
She restarts.
She restarts.
She restarts the machine.
She restarts the machine.
She restarts the machine for updates.
She restarts the machine for updates.
他为更新重启机器。
She restarts the machine for updates.
She restarts the machine for updates.
It crashes.
It crashes.
It crashes unexpectedly.
It crashes unexpectedly.
It crashes unexpectedly during use.
It crashes unexpectedly during use.
他在使用中意外崩溃。
It crashes unexpectedly during use.
It crashes unexpectedly during use.
We compute.
We compute.
We compute equations.
We compute equations.
We compute equations for analysis.
We compute equations for analysis.
我们计算方程式进行分析。
We compute equations for analysis.
We compute equations for analysis.
They program.
They program.
They program software.
They program software.
They program software for clients.
They program software for clients.
他们为客户编程软件。
They program software for clients.
They program software for clients.
I view.
I view.
I view movies.
I view movies.
I view movies during weekends.
I view movies during weekends.
我在周末观看电影。
I view movies during weekends.
I view movies during weekends.
You glance.
You glance.
You glance at newspapers.
You glance at newspapers.
You glance at newspapers during breakfast.
You glance at newspapers during breakfast.
你在早餐时瞥一眼报纸。
You glance at newspapers during breakfast.
You glance at newspapers during breakfast.
He observes.
He observes.
He observes behavior.
He observes behavior.
He observes behavior for research.
He observes behavior for research.
他观察行为进行研究。
He observes behavior for research.
He observes behavior for research.
She cites.
She cites.
She cites landmarks.
She cites landmarks.
She cites landmarks during travels.
She cites landmarks during travels.
他在旅行中观赏地标。
She cites landmarks during travels.
She cites landmarks during travels.
It reflects.
It reflects.
It reflects light.
It reflects light.
It reflects light in the dark.
It reflects light in the dark.
它在黑暗中反射光线。
It reflects light in the dark.
It reflects light in the dark.
We gaze.
We gaze.
We gaze at stars.
We gaze at stars.
We gaze at stars on clear nights.
We gaze at stars on clear nights.
我们在晴朗的夜晚凝视星星。
We gaze at stars on clear nights.
We gaze at stars on clear nights.
They witness.
They witness.
They witness events.
They witness events.
They witness events for news.
They witness events for news.
他们为新闻见证事件。
They witness events for news.
They witness events for news.
I film.
I film.
I film videos.
I film videos.
I film videos for memories.
I film videos for memories.
我录制影片留作记忆。
I film videos for memories.
I film videos for memories.
You record.
You record.
You record audios.
You record audios.
You record audios for podcasts.
You record audios for podcasts.
你录制音频制作播客。
You record audios for podcasts.
You record audios for podcasts.
He snaps.
He snaps.
He snaps photos.
He snaps photos.
He snaps photos during trips.
He snaps photos during trips.
他在旅行中拍摄照片。
He snaps photos during trips.
He snaps photos during trips.
She captures.
She captures.
She captures moments.
She captures moments.
She captures moments with family.
She captures moments with family.
他与家人捕捉时刻。
She captures moments with family.
She captures moments with family.
It plays.
It plays.
It plays tunes.
It plays tunes.
It plays tunes for relaxation.
It plays tunes for relaxation.
它播放曲调用于放松。
It plays tunes for relaxation.
It plays tunes for relaxation.
We rewind.
We rewind.
We rewind memories.
We rewind memories.
We rewind memories during reunions.
We rewind memories during reunions.
我们在团聚时回顾记忆。
We rewind memories during reunions.
We rewind memories during reunions.
They fast forward.
They fast forward.
They fast forward tracks.
They fast forward tracks.
They fast forward tracks for favorites.
They fast forward tracks for favorites.
他们快进曲目以选择喜爱的。
They fast forward tracks for favorites.
They fast forward tracks for favorites.
I fold.
I fold.
I fold laundry.
I fold laundry.
I fold laundry after washing.
I fold laundry after washing.
我洗完衣服后折衣服。
I fold laundry after washing.
I fold laundry after washing.
You crease.
You crease.
You crease papers.
You crease papers.
You crease papers for presentations.
You crease papers for presentations.
你为演示折叠纸张。
You crease papers for presentations.
You crease papers for presentations.
He iron.
He iron.
He irons shirts.
He irons shirts.
He irons shirts for work.
He irons shirts for work.
他为工作熨烫衬衫。
He irons shirts for work.
He irons shirts for work.
She smooths.
She smooths.
She smooths blankets.
She smooths blankets.
She smooths blankets before sleep.
She smooths blankets before sleep.
他睡前整理毯子。
She smooths blankets before sleep.
She smooths blankets before sleep.
It wrinkles.
It wrinkles.
It wrinkles with age.
It wrinkles with age.
It wrinkles with age and use.
It wrinkles with age and use.
它随着年龄和使用而产生皱纹。
It wrinkles with age and use.
It wrinkles with age and use.
We flatten.
We flatten.
We flatten dough.
We flatten dough.
We flatten dough for baking.
We flatten dough for baking.
我们压平面团烘焙。
We flatten dough for baking.
We flatten dough for baking.
They press.
They press.
They press flowers.
They press flowers.
They press flowers for preservation.
They press flowers for preservation.
他们压花以保存。
They press flowers for preservation.
They press flowers for preservation.
I meet.
I meet.
I meet friends.
I meet friends.
I meet friends for coffee.
I meet friends for coffee.
我与朋友见面喝咖啡。
I meet friends for coffee.
I meet friends for coffee.
You greet.
You greet.
You greet strangers.
You greet strangers.
You greet strangers with a smile.
You greet strangers with a smile.
你微笑着迎接陌生人。
You greet strangers with a smile.
You greet strangers with a smile.
He welcomes.
He welcomes.
He welcomes guests.
He welcomes guests.
He welcomes guests at home.
He welcomes guests at home.
他在家中欢迎客人。
He welcomes guests at home.
He welcomes guests at home.
She introduces.
She introduces.
She introduces colleagues.
She introduces colleagues.
She introduces colleagues at meetings.
She introduces colleagues at meetings.
他在会议上介绍同事。
She introduces colleagues at meetings.
She introduces colleagues at meetings.
It joins.
It joins.
It joins networks.
It joins networks.
It joins networks for better connectivity.
It joins networks for better connectivity.
他加入网络以提高连接性。
It joins networks for better connectivity.
It joins networks for better connectivity.
We unite.
We unite.
We unite in groups.
We unite in groups.
We unite in groups for causes.
We unite in groups for causes.
我们为了事业而团结在一起。
We unite in groups for causes.
We unite in groups for causes.
They gather.
They gather.
They gather for meetings.
They gather for meetings.
They gather for meetings to discuss.
They gather for meetings to discuss.
他们聚集开会讨论。
They gather for meetings to discuss.
They gather for meetings to discuss.
I lock.
I lock.
I lock doors.
I lock doors.
I lock doors for safety.
I lock doors for safety.
我为了安全锁门。
I lock doors for safety.
I lock doors for safety.
You unlock.
You unlock.
You unlock treasures.
You unlock treasures.
You unlock treasures for display.
You unlock treasures for display.
你展示宝藏。
You unlock treasures for display.
You unlock treasures for display.
He secures.
He secures.
He secures valuables.
He secures valuables.
He secures valuables in safes.
He secures valuables in safes.
他将贵重物品安全存放在保险箱中。
He secures valuables in safes.
He secures valuables in safes.
She protects.
She protects.
She protects her family.
She protects her family.
She protects her family with love.
She protects her family with love.
她用爱保护她的家人。
She protects her family with love.
She protects her family with love.
It safeguards.
It safeguards.
It safeguards data.
It safeguards data.
It safeguards data against breaches.
It safeguards data against breaches.
它保护数据免受侵害。
It safeguards data against breaches.
It safeguards data against breaches.
We guard.
We guard.
We guard secrets.
We guard secrets.
We guard secrets for trust.
We guard secrets for trust.
我们守护秘密以建立信任。
We guard secrets for trust.
We guard secrets for trust.
They shield.
They shield.
They shield innocence.
They shield innocence.
They shield innocence from harm.
They shield innocence from harm.
他们保护无辜者免受伤害。
They shield innocence from harm.
They shield innocence from harm.
I paint.
I paint.
I paint landscapes.
I paint landscapes.
I paint landscapes for relaxation.
I paint landscapes for relaxation.
我为放松绘画风景。
I paint landscapes for relaxation.
I paint landscapes for relaxation.
You color.
You color.
You color drawings.
You color drawings.
You color drawings for fun.
You color drawings for fun.
你为乐趣给画作上色。
You color drawings for fun.
You color drawings for fun.
He sketches.
He sketches.
He sketches models.
He sketches models.
He sketches models for fashion.
He sketches models for fashion.
他为时尚绘制模特。
He sketches models for fashion.
He sketches models for fashion.
She shades.
She shades.
She shades portraits.
She shades portraits.
She shades portraits for depth.
She shades portraits for depth.
他为增加深度给肖像上色。
She shades portraits for depth.
She shades portraits for depth.
It tints.
It tints.
It tints windows.
It tints windows.
It tints windows for privacy.
It tints windows for privacy.
他为隐私给窗户着色。
It tints windows for privacy.
It tints windows for privacy.
We draw.
We draw.
We draw plans.
We draw plans.
We draw plans for projects.
We draw plans for projects.
我们为项目绘制计划。
We draw plans for projects.
We draw plans for projects.
They illustrate.
They illustrate.
They illustrate stories.
They illustrate stories.
They illustrate stories for books.
They illustrate stories for books.
他们为书籍绘制故事。
They illustrate stories for books.
They illustrate stories for books.
I carve.
I carve.
I carve wood.
I carve wood.
I carve wood for art.
I carve wood for art.
我为艺术雕刻木头。
I carve wood for art.
I carve wood for art.
You etch.
You etch.
You etch metal.
You etch metal.
You etch metal for jewelry.
You etch metal for jewelry.
你为珠宝石刻金属。
You etch metal for jewelry.
You etch metal for jewelry.
He sculpts.
He sculpts.
He sculpts clay.
He sculpts clay.
He sculpts clay for sculptures.
He sculpts clay for sculptures.
他用粘土雕塑。
He sculpts clay for sculptures.
He sculpts clay for sculptures.
She molds.
She molds.
She molds candles.
She molds candles.
She molds candles for decor.
She molds candles for decor.
他制作装饰蜡烛。
She molds candles for decor.
She molds candles for decor.
It shapes.
It shapes.
It shapes destiny.
It shapes destiny.
It shapes destiny through choices.
It shapes destiny through choices.
他通过选择塑造命运。
It shapes destiny through choices.
It shapes destiny through choices.
We form.
We form.
We form teams.
We form teams.
We form teams for competition.
We form teams for competition.
我们组建队伍参加比赛。
We form teams for competition.
We form teams for competition.
They fashion.
They fashion.
They fashion designs.
They fashion designs.
They fashion designs for style.
They fashion designs for style.
他们设计风格。
They fashion designs for style.
They fashion designs for style.
I quote.
I quote.
I quote authors.
I quote authors.
I quote authors in essays.
I quote authors in essays.
我在文章中引用作者。
I quote authors in essays.
I quote authors in essays.
You cite.
You cite.
You cite sources.
You cite sources.
You cite sources for reference.
You cite sources for reference.
你引用来源作为参考。
You cite sources for reference.
You cite sources for reference.
He mentions.
He mentions.
He mentions events.
He mentions events.
He mentions events during discussions.
He mentions events during discussions.
他在讨论中提到事件。
He mentions events during discussions.
He mentions events during discussions.
She refers.
She refers.
She refers friends.
She refers friends.
She refers friends for jobs.
She refers friends for jobs.
他推荐朋友工作。
She refers friends for jobs.
She refers friends for jobs.
It states.
It states.
It states facts.
It states facts.
It states facts for clarity.
It states facts for clarity.
他为了清晰陈述事实。
It states facts for clarity.
It states facts for clarity.
We declare.
We declare.
We declare independence.
We declare independence.
We declare independence for freedom.
We declare independence for freedom.
我们宣布独立以获得自由。
We declare independence for freedom.
We declare independence for freedom.
They proclaim.
They proclaim.
They proclaim victories.
They proclaim victories.
They proclaim victories in battles.
They proclaim victories in battles.
他们宣布战役胜利。
They proclaim victories in battles.
They proclaim victories in battles.
I print.
I print.
I print documents.
I print documents.
I print documents for records.
I print documents for records.
我打印文件以备记录。
I print documents for records.
I print documents for records.
You copy.
You copy.
You copy notes.
You copy notes.
You copy notes for study.
You copy notes for study.
你复制学习笔记。
You copy notes for study.
You copy notes for study.
He paced.
He paced.
He pastes clips.
He pastes clips.
He pastes clips for collages.
He pastes clips for collages.
他为拼贴贴上剪贴。
He pastes clips for collages.
He pastes clips for collages.
She cut.
She cut.
She cuts papers.
She cuts papers.
She cuts papers for crafts.
She cuts papers for crafts.
他为手工艺裁剪纸张。
She cuts papers for crafts.
She cuts papers for crafts.
It deletes.
It deletes.
It deletes errors.
It deletes errors.
It deletes errors for accuracy.
It deletes errors for accuracy.
他删除错误以提高准确性。
It deletes errors for accuracy.
It deletes errors for accuracy.
We type.
We type.
We type emails.
We type emails.
We type emails for communication.
We type emails for communication.
我们为沟通打字发送电子邮件。
We type emails for communication.
We type emails for communication.
They input.
They input.
They input data.
They input data.
They input data for analysis.
They input data for analysis.
他们输入数据进行分析。
They input data for analysis.
They input data for analysis.
I link.
I link.
I link websites.
I link websites.
I link websites for reference.
I link websites for reference.
我连结网站作为参考。
I link websites for reference.
I link websites for reference.
You connect.
You connect.
You connect devices.
You connect devices.
You connect devices for synchronization.
You connect devices for synchronization.
你连接设备进行同步。
You connect devices for synchronization.
You connect devices for synchronization.
He binds.
He binds.
He binds books.
He binds books.
He binds books for durability.
He binds books for durability.
他装订书籍以提高耐用性。
He binds books for durability.
He binds books for durability.
She attaches.
She attaches.
She attaches files.
She attaches files.
She attaches files for sharing.
She attaches files for sharing.
他附加文件以供分享。
She attaches files for sharing.
She attaches files for sharing.
It adheres.
It adheres.
It adheres to surfaces.
It adheres to surfaces.
It adheres to surfaces when glued.
It adheres to surfaces when glued.
它粘贴在表面上。
It adheres to surfaces when glued.
It adheres to surfaces when glued.
We join.
We join.
We join clubs.
We join clubs.
We join clubs for activities.
We join clubs for activities.
我们加入俱乐部参与活动。
We join clubs for activities.
We join clubs for activities.
They merge.
They merge.
They merge companies.
They merge companies.
They merge companies for growth.
They merge companies for growth.
他们合并公司以促进增长。
They merge companies for growth.
They merge companies for growth.
I chat.
I chat.
I chat online.
I chat online.
I chat online with friends.
I chat online with friends.
我在线与朋友聊天。
I chat online with friends.
I chat online with friends.
You discuss.
You discuss.
You discuss issues.
You discuss issues.
You discuss issues at meetings.
You discuss issues at meetings.
你在会议上讨论问题。
You discuss issues at meetings.
You discuss issues at meetings.
He debates.
He debates.
He debates politics.
He debates politics.
He debates politics for change.
He debates politics for change.
他为改变辩论政治。
He debates politics for change.
He debates politics for change.
She argues.
She argues.
She argues points.
She argues points.
She argues points for justice.
She argues points for justice.
他为正义辩护。
She argues points for justice.
She argues points for justice.
It communicates.
It communicates.
It communicates information.
It communicates information.
It communicates information for knowledge.
It communicates information for knowledge.
它传递知识信息。
It communicates information for knowledge.
It communicates information for knowledge.
We converse.
We converse.
We converse over dinner.
We converse over dinner.
We converse over dinner for bonding.
We converse over dinner for bonding.
我们在晚餐时交谈以增进关系。
We converse over dinner for bonding.
We converse over dinner for bonding.
They talk.
They talk.
They talk business.
They talk business.
They talk business for deals.
They talk business for deals.
他们谈生意做交易。
They talk business for deals.
They talk business for deals.
I shave.
I shave.
I shave my beard.
I shave my beard.
I shave my beard for neatness.
I shave my beard for neatness.
我为整洁剃须。
I shave my beard for neatness.
I shave my beard for neatness.
You trim.
You trim.
You trim nails.
You trim nails.
You trim nails for hygiene.
You trim nails for hygiene.
你为卫生修剪指甲。
You trim nails for hygiene.
You trim nails for hygiene.
He cuts.
He cuts.
He cuts hair.
He cuts hair.
He cuts hair for style.
He cuts hair for style.
他为风格剪发。
He cuts hair for style.
He cuts hair for style.
She styles.
She styles.
She styles tresses.
She styles tresses.
She styles tresses for fashion.
She styles tresses for fashion.
他为时尚设计发型。
She styles tresses for fashion.
She styles tresses for fashion.
It grows.
It grows.
It grows steadily.
It grows steadily.
It grows steadily with time.
It grows steadily with time.
它随着时间稳定成长。
It grows steadily with time.
It grows steadily with time.
We groom.
We groom.
We groom pets.
We groom pets.
We groom pets for health.
We groom pets for health.
我们为健康给宠物梳理。
We groom pets for health.
We groom pets for health.
They comb.
They comb.
They comb wigs.
They comb wigs.
They comb wigs for appearance.
They comb wigs for appearance.
他们为外观梳理假发。
They comb wigs for appearance.
They comb wigs for appearance.
I tickle.
I tickle.
I tickle feet.
I tickle feet.
I tickle feet for fun.
I tickle feet for fun.
我为乐趣挠脚心。
I tickle feet for fun.
I tickle feet for fun.
You touch.
You touch.
You touch faces.
You touch faces.
You touch faces with affection.
You touch faces with affection.
你慈爱地触摸脸颊。
You touch faces with affection.
You touch faces with affection.
He pokes.
He pokes.
He pokes sides.
He pokes sides.
He pokes sides playfully.
He pokes sides playfully.
他调皮地戳侧面。
He pokes sides playfully.
He pokes sides playfully.
She pinches.
She pinches.
She pinches cheeks.
She pinches cheeks.
She pinches cheeks lovingly.
She pinches cheeks lovingly.
他爱意地捏脸颊。
She pinches cheeks lovingly.
She pinches cheeks lovingly.
It nudges.
It nudges.
It nudges reminders.
It nudges reminders.
It nudges reminders for tasks.
It nudges reminders for tasks.
他轻推提醒任务。
It nudges reminders for tasks.
It nudges reminders for tasks.
We pat.
We pat.
We pat backs.
We pat backs.
We pat backs for encouragement.
We pat backs for encouragement.
我们为鼓励拍拍背。
We pat backs for encouragement.
We pat backs for encouragement.
They slap.
They slap.
They slap hands.
They slap hands.
They slap hands in high fives.
They slap hands in high fives.
他们高舞时拍手。
They slap hands in high fives.
They slap hands in high fives.
I arrange.
I arrange.
I arrange flowers.
I arrange flowers.
I arrange flowers for beauty.
I arrange flowers for beauty.
我为美丽摆放花朵。
I arrange flowers for beauty.
I arrange flowers for beauty.
You organize.
You organize.
You organize files.
You organize files.
You organize files for order.
You organize files for order.
你为秩序整理档案。
You organize files for order.
You organize files for order.
He sorts.
He sorts.
He sorts mails.
He sorts mails.
He sorts mails for priority.
He sorts mails for priority.
他为优先级分类邮件。
He sorts mails for priority.
He sorts mails for priority.
She categorizes.
She categorizes.
She categorizes books.
She categorizes books.
She categorizes books by genre.
She categorizes books by genre.
他按类型分类书籍。
She categorizes books by genre.
She categorizes books by genre.
It classifies.
It classifies.
It classifies species.
It classifies species.
It classifies species for study.
It classifies species for study.
他为研究分类物种。
It classifies species for study.
It classifies species for study.
We systemize.
We systemize.
We systemize operations.
We systemize operations.
We systemize operations for efficiency.
We systemize operations for efficiency.
我们为效率系统化操作。
We systemize operations for efficiency.
We systemize operations for efficiency.
They structure.
They structure.
They structure organizations.
They structure organizations.
They structure organizations for success.
They structure organizations for success.
他们为成功结构组织。
They structure organizations for success.
They structure organizations for success.
I clean.
I clean.
I clean rooms.
I clean rooms.
I clean rooms for cleanliness.
I clean rooms for cleanliness.
我打扫房间以保持清洁。
I clean rooms for cleanliness.
I clean rooms for cleanliness.
You polish.
You polish.
You polish silver.
You polish silver.
You polish silver for shine.
You polish silver for shine.
你为光亮擦亮银器。
You polish silver for shine.
You polish silver for shine.
He scrubs.
He scrubs.
He scrubs floors.
He scrubs floors.
He scrubs floors for sanitation.
He scrubs floors for sanitation.
他为卫生擦洗地板。
He scrubs floors for sanitation.
He scrubs floors for sanitation.
She sweeps.
She sweeps.
She sweeps porches.
She sweeps porches.
She sweeps porches for neatness.
She sweeps porches for neatness.
她扫进门廊以保持整洁。
She sweeps porches for neatness.
She sweeps porches for neatness.